Hello, it's me again. Sorry. I remembered that other thing from the Pixels movie that I was going to say too. So at the end, my son and I were watching this movie together. And at the end, it's funny. It's hilarious. As an adult, I can see how funny it is that q-bert stayed, but Lady Lisa left, right? And it's devastating to the one guy, and everybody's feeling sorry for him. And q-bert apparently was feeling sorry for him, so he switched himself out and became at first I said, oh, they traded places. My son, my little, what's he, 6, 7, 8, anyway, that guy, he he was like, what happened to q-bert when Lady Lisa became, in its place? And I said, well, they just traded places. And that makes that, I mean, he was a little lost, like, he wasn't lost on the idea of them trading places necessarily, but just, where's q-bert? He's cute, we want him back. Can we have them both, kind of thinking, right? So the reason I'm making this video is because it's actually important. Yes, it's it's actually important. You know, all those times in my other videos where I talk about your brain, like especially with depression and anxiety and all this other mental stuff, how the brain, we feel like our brain is attacking us, like it's turned against us. Well, it's true in a kind of way, we'll say. Just go with it. But by the same token, the same could be said for us. Our brain feels like we are attacking it. And those moments like that are moments that happen all the time in our lives that do not make sense, but somehow kind of get stuck. Do they get stuck to the point of creating like a thorn? No, because they didn't, doesn't make sense. Plus, it doesn't feel good. Because it's not directly connected to us, blah, blah, blah. q-bert's not our mom. Yeah, because at the end of the movie, yeah. Hi, kids, Daddy's home, and it's a bunch of little q-berts dancing in the crib, right? Jumping up and down. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, the point is, here's my young son watching this. And he had got, okay, the trading places kind of makes sense, but at the same time, where's q-bert? Let's bring him back. Okay. So then the next scene is the part with the little guys dancing in the jumping up and down in the crib, and that really confused him because it's like, but I thought q-bert was gone, so why are there little baby q-berts? Again, me and my adult mind, I'm like, oh, that's funny. I get it. Yeah, I see how they're making that connection. Yeah, it's silly, but I can make sense of it. He can't. Not only can he not understand why they took away such a cute, loving little character. Pac-Man, it made sense. Pac-Man was kind of mean. He bit his dad's hand, right? So that kind of made sense for taking Pac-Man away. In the Ghostbusters movie Afterlife, yeah, the little marshmallow man was so cute. Oh my gosh, we lost it when those little guys showed up. But yeah, they were so cute. But it made sense that they went because they weren't actually really good guys. So again, it made sense. But q-bert was a good guy. So why did he get taken away? Well, he made a sacrifice. Okay, well, we can understand that whole trading places thing. That's a sacrifice, and his little brain probably could process that to some degree. But those babies don't look like, well, the guy and Lady Lisa look like humans, and q-bert obviously doesn't. So why did the babies look like, sorry, my stomach's rumbling. Why did the babies look like q-bert? But not like people. Little brain. Poor little brain. And we do this to ourselves all the time. Now, when it comes to kids, this is one of the reasons, by the way, that the therapist, the counselor, doctor, whatever, they always say, come sit on my couch and tell me about your childhood. This is part of the reason why. Because during our childhood, we're a lot more vulnerable, and a lot more things do not make sense, and there's no way to make sense of them. Because we just don't have that reasoning yet. We just haven't, the whole 9 yards. You can figure that out on your own. The point is, that's why a lot of times they say, let's look at the childhood. It's not because they're like, what do you call it? I mean, I know. I've had it too, where they're like, well, let's talk about your childhood. And you're like, well, what makes you think it's my childhood? What makes you think that the problem didn't happen 3 days ago? Even though my depression and anxiety have been here for 15 years or more, it could have been 3 days ago, right? We just want to be, you know. Anyway, the point of the video is just to simply say, this is the way that our brains are being attacked every day, all day long. Things happening that do not make sense. Now, it's very difficult to explain the whole imbalance thing and how it resets itself and blah, blah, blah. But the point is that even though that stuff doesn't get stuck like a thorn, it does kind of mess with the brain. Especially the more it happens, the more that's already imbalanced, all that stuff. So yes, for as much as you feel like your brain is attacking you, you're attacking your brain all the time too. Which is why one of the reasons I say, well, if you ever watch my depression video, I agree with it. Stop the war. Stop the conflict. And then you guys can be friends again, you and your brain, and work stuff out a little differently. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. For one, because it's cute. Because you should have seen his face. He's just like... And he's like watching. Like, I even told him, like, look, dude, I'm not sure. I've been watching it like you, bro. I don't know what's going on, you know. And he's just like... watching to see if it'll make sense eventually. If something will get explained in a way that he can actually, in his little brain, understand it. And it didn't. And he left the room still staring at the screen like... But why? But where's q-bert? One of his last words he said before leaving the room. But where did q-bert go? Bring q-bert back. Bring a little tiny pixel movie back where they bring q-bert back. Just for my son. Just for him. And all the other little children who saw, and adults, who saw q-bert leave and not come back. All right. Now I'm really going to take my nap. Bye.